Today, I'm scoring with the highest overall in every single NHL game. Starting in NHL 95, where overalls were introduced, the highest overall player, that should be no surprise, it's going to be Wayne Gretzky, as he's sitting at a 100 overall. And Gretzky, he's going to go to work late in the first period, ignore the fact that he was just offside, but it doesn't matter, he's going to bury one in the back of the net here, and now we're off to our next game. In NHL 96, we got a new player, and that's from the Philadelphia Flyers, as Eric Lindros, he's going to be leading the way as a 100 overall. Lindros is going to have a bit more style than Gretzky, as he's going to deke in between 4 defenders on his way to the goal, and he's going to bury this one in the back of the net against Detroit. On NHL 97, Jaromir Jagr is going to be the highest overall at a 99. And the one thing I have to mention is the graphical difference between NHL 96 and NHL 97. It's a massive jump. But let's focus on Jagr here, as he's going to work and he's going to pot one in the back of the net. On NHL 98, EA decided to change their overall system up a bit. And what they changed it to was a bunch of bars here, but Brendan Shanahan, he's going to be the highest overall in the game. I'm going to be completely honest, he was one of the highest overall players in the game. I couldn't figure out who exactly was the highest though. With less than a minute left in the second period, Eisman's going to get checked, but he still had enough time to dish it over to Brendan Shanahan. And Shanahan, he's just going to outweight the goalie here, and he's going to bury this one right over his glove in the back of the net. In NHL 99, they're going to be sticking with the same overall system. This time around, it's much easier to tell who's the best player in the game, and that's going to be Jaromir Jagr once again. Earlier in the video, Eric Lindros deked around 4 guys to bury one in the back of the net. Well, what's better than that? Jaromir Jagr deking around 5 defenders in order to put this one in the back of the net. He just needed to prove that he was that guy. Heading into our next game, we're going to get our one and only Anaheim Duck, as Teemu Selanne, he's going to be up next as a 99 overall. It's not going to take too long for Teemu Selanne to go to work, and then he's going to tee one up, ripping this right past the goaltender. This was only 43 seconds into the period. I know it said we were at the 4-minute mark. When you set the periods to 5 minutes, they're legit 5-minute periods. It doesn't speed the clock up for you. That's what I thought it did. So one guy we haven't seen in a while, I think needs to get a bit more recognition. That's going to be Jaromir Jagr. As a 98 overall, he's going to be at the top of the league once again. For a game that was released in 2001, this is an incredibly clean game, but Jagr, he's going to tee one up, get his own rebound, bury in the back of the net, immediately going to the celly. This entire play was clean from start to finish. On NHL 2002, we're entering the Joe Sakic era, as he's going to be the top of the league with a 94 overall. It wouldn't take long before Sakic dominated the game. He's going to be spinning into the zone. He's fighting off a couple defenders in order to make his way towards the net. And on the first shot of the game, Sakic's burying this one in the back of the net. And we're off to NHL 2003. And in 2003, one of our 2 defensemen we're going to be seeing today, that's Nick Lindstrom at a 98 overall. Now, I will say one thing. It was much harder to score with the defenseman, as we're late in the third period here. But Lindstrom, it doesn't matter. He's going to be scoring a goal. And now we're heading to our next game. On NHL 2004, we have another Colorado Avalanche player, but this time it's not Joe Sakic. We got Peter Forsberg at a 97 overall, leading the way. Now I can confidently say this is the worst goal being scored today. Forsberg's getting a weak shot off here. It's going to end up going wide of the net. But the Minnesota defender, he's going to be making a high IQ move here. He's going to be launching this off the goalie, and it's in the back of the net, but it's going to count as a Forsberg goal. So it doesn't matter how ugly the goal is, we're going to take it. Here we are in NHL 2005, and once again, we're going to be using the Colorado Avalanche, but Joe Sakic, he's taking over once again as a 96 overall at 35 years old. Joe Sakic, I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you, my guy. I was not this familiar with your game. I did not realize you were him. I knew you were that guy. Didn't realize you were him. Alex Tonke is going to do all the work here. He's going to get all the attention from the defenders here, and that's going to allow Joe Sakic to create a bit of space, and he's going to beat the goaltender. But we're not done with Joe Sakic, because in NHL 2006, once again, he's the highest overall at a 96. Sakic's going to be calling for the puck behind the net, and he's ready to go to work here. He's going to cut towards the front of the net. The goaltender's going to try to stack the pads, but that's not enough to stop Sakic. In NHL 07, we're going to be seeing the very familiar face, Jaromir Jagr. He's leading all players in the game at a 97 overall. And since we're taking on the New York Rangers, it's the perfect time to mention I'm trying to pass them in YouTube subscribers. And with 73% of the people watching these videos not subscribed, I won't be able to do that. So if you haven't already, subscribe, turn notifications on, and help me pass the Rangers. There's nothing fancy about this goal, but it's a clean one. Nylander, he's going to spot Jaromir Jagr wide open in front of the net. It's a nice one-timer, and that's a power play goal for the Rangers. And that's a nice goal for Jaromir Jagr. In NHL 08, we're going to be seeing our second defenseman of the day in Scott Niedermayer. At 34 years old, he's going to be leading the entire league at a 96 overall. And in a tie game with less than 4 minutes left to go, Niedermayer is going to work a deke in between the legs. He might be losing the puck, but he's still going to gain control, and he's sending an absolute rocket right over the goaltender's blocker, and he's scoring the game winner. I think it's safe to say we all knew it was a matter of time before we saw Sid the Kid here. At a 96 overall, 21 years old, it's time to enter the Sidney Crosby era. On a Penguins power play, halfway through the second period, Crosby's going to be the trailer, and he's picking up the puck. That's going to give him enough time to tee one up, and he's burying one in the back of the net. So I did mention we were in the Sidney Crosby era. NHL 10, Sid the Kid, 94 overall, leading the entire league. It's time to run it back. So I can confidently say this is going to be the nicest goal we're seeing today. As Sidney Crosby, while receiving the pass, he's going to do a 360, and then he's going to rip this one right over the blocker of Ryan Miller. The fact that Crosby was able to do this so seamlessly just shows how great of a player he is. It also shows how good NHL games used to be. Take that statement as you will. NHL 11 is going to be one of the few games during this era where Sidney Crosby isn't the highest overall player. This time around, it's Alexander Ovechkin at 94 overall. And with Ovi, you know it's not going to take him too long to score a goal. Although Ovi's losing control of the puck, he's going to regain that split right between two defenders, and he's going bar down early in the game to send us to our next game. So he's back. Sidney Crosby at 94 overall. Who are we scoring against next? And that's going to be the Philadelphia Flyers. And with just seconds left in the period, Sidney Crosby, he's going to wrap around the net. He's going to stall a bit to give himself a good position to shoot. And just when he gets enough space, he's going to be burying this one in the back of the net. In NHL 13 at 95 overall, Pavel Datsyuk is going to be tied with Sidney Crosby as a 95 overall. And I thought since we've been using Crosby so much, we might as well give Datsyuk a shot. And halfway through the second period, Datsyuk's going to work. He's going to get past the defender here, and he's going to send an absolute laser right past Jake Allen. He's going bar down, and he's going right into a clean celly. Had to point out the celly, that was elite. He's back again. NHL 14, Sidney Crosby, the highest overall player in the game. He's sitting at a 95 overall at 26 years old. And once again, with only seconds left in the period, Chris Kunitz is bringing the puck into the zone, a dish over to Crosby. He's able to get past the defender, and he's going to bury this one in the back of the net with less than a second left in the period. Although Crosby didn't have too much time, he's going to bury that chance. After surviving an entire console generation, Sidney Crosby is going to be leading us in NHL 15 as a 96 overall. And since this is a game I'm a bit more familiar with, it's time for me to go to work. And Crosby, he's going to be deking around countless defenders, working his way to the front of the net. He's going to get a backhander off, and he's going to be beating Roberto Luongo or Corey Schneider. I honestly don't know who's in net at this point. If you haven't seen enough from Sidney Crosby yet, keep on watching, because at a 96 overall, he's the highest overall player once again. In NHL 16, it's not going to be taking too long. Crosby's going to enter the zone, a bit of a back skate here, and just like that, we've scored. This is on all-star difficulty, by the way, 24 seconds into the game. On NHL 17, we're going to see a face that we haven't seen in a while, and that's going to be Sidney Crosby at 95 overall. I understand you're one of the greatest players of all time, but can we switch it up? Nothing special is going to be happening in NHL 17. Crosby's just going to drive straight to the front of the net, and he's going to tuck this one right behind the goalie. But maybe I should have scored a nicer goal, because here we are in NHL 18, and it's the Connor McDavid show. We're going to be seeing this man for the rest of the video here, and at 20 years old, he's sitting at 93 overall, and he's going to change the entire NHL landscape. NHL 18 was also the year that Vegas came into the league, so we're taking them on, and with Connor McDavid going to work, he's going to create enough space, and that's going to allow him to launch one right over Marc-Andre Fleury's glove. So we already know NHL 19, Connor McDavid's going to be leading the way, but this time he's jumping up to a 94 overall. And if we thought Crosby scored a fast one, McDavid's topping that. 20 seconds into this game, we're scoring on Vancouver. It took me 20 seconds to score on this team. All-star difficulty, by the way, and I don't claim to be good. Heading into our final games here, Connor McDavid, once again, he's the highest overall in the league, and he's a 95 overall. And against the Calgary Flames, they're going to be scoring a real greasy goal. McDavid's getting the puck. He's going to tee one up. It's going to deflect off a defender into the back of the net. It might not be the nicest goal in the world. It might not be the prettiest, but we take those. For the fourth straight year in a row, Connor McDavid's going to be the highest overall in the entire game, and once again, he's a 95 overall. McDavid's going to have the defender absolutely lost here. Bro, like, where are you going? He's getting a nice backhander off to bury this in the net, but man, you were absolutely lost. You were going the opposite direction. That's a tough look for you. In NHL 22, it's McDavid's third straight season as a 95 overall, and of course, he's the highest rated once again. And with the X Factor wheels, it should be no surprise Connor McDavid's turning on the Jets. He's going to blaze right by the defender, and with an opportunity like that, you already know McDavid's going to bury this one. So here we are in the current NHL 23, Connor McDavid, a 97 overall, the highest in the league. He's been the highest in the league for 6 straight years now. It's time for him to bury one more. And we got to do this against the best team in the NHL, the Boston Bruins, and with McDavid turning on the Jets, there's no stopping him. He's going to get another backhand in the back of the net, an easy deke for him, and just like that, we scored with the highest overall in every single NHL game.